There it is. That's a high. Yeah, let's see what it does. Yeah, that's a bomb. That's a bomb. All right, loosening up. We're going to start off with the Paradym first. We're going to go right into a few shots. Just warming up a little bit. I'm going to try to pull the best data out of this. So let's see what this does. Yeah, that's a bomb. .272, playing nice little fade today. You didn't get the turn, but I mean, I think it's a bomb.
Okay, then what I was saying is probably going to be either this one or something like
Jesus. And we're going to end on that because we already knew what the Paradym could freaking do. I mean, I miss hitting this like crazy. And look at where it hit. Look where this hit. 14 millimeters up off of the x-axis, 16 off. I'm saying 16 off the x, 14 up the y. And I'm still putting out 280 on the carry. That's absurd. All right, so now we're gonna hit the Stealth 2 standard, and I hate the top. I hate the top. That was ripped. 269. That felt good. There it is. That's a high. Yeah, let's see what it does. Yeah, that's a bomb. That's a bomb.
All right, welcome back to the house. We are going to go over the data, Paradym versus Stealth 2. But before we do that, hit that subscribe button. Helps me in my community, helps me build it out, helps me save you money. And that's the goal of all of this. But you can't get that unless you hit that subscribe button. Yes, I got my radio announcer voice. And we're going to go from there. But enough of me talking. We're going to go right to the data because two top manufacturers, my God. Callaway versus Taylormade. So let's get right to it. The club speed here on average was 110.4. Ball speed was, for me, humming. It was 159 is pretty high for me. And that also speaks a lot of the technology because I miss it the crap out of this club. 144 smash factor, that's slightly above where I'm usually at. I'll be if I'm being completely transparent. The launch angle, pretty good. Normally I'm around 13.8. I'm usually a degree lower, but I'm not going to complain. Spin rate, exactly where I'd want it. That's verbatim perfect. Carry, 275, rollout 275. I mean, and not only that, my landing angle, I'm getting nice arcing bombs. I mean, for me, these are really good numbers. This club its technology is for real. Like, I put this thing like 10 yards past my Rogue. It's better than its predecessor. So for me, looking at this data, I'm not shocked. Let's go to the Stealth 2. Probably about a half a mile per hour up. So these club speeds were pretty similar, which was pretty good. What was that? About I was one mile per hour off. My ball speed was low, 155.5. I kind of look at this, and if I'm being quite honest, I'm probably saying that with the club speed, if I am matching it up to this and giving it one more mile per hour mathematically, then I'm saying that this is probably going to be about 271, 270. I was bombing this 278. But on average, probably around 271, 272 with a rollout of like 288, 289. It was definitely different hitting this club. It had a different feel and it felt different. Going over the averages, 109.5 club speed, pretty good for me. So that's around where I swing. The ball speed was lower than usual. I wasn't hitting this as good as I usually do. That's kind of funny. That's normally what my smash factor is around 142, 143. I'm not going to complain about that. But I know I lost distance with this club because the launch angle was much higher here. I was about 1.5 degrees higher on the launch, meaning I'm going to get more of a spin rate, meaning I'm going to lose distance. So if we bring that spin rate down to where it's supposed to be, to 28.5, that launch angle is the same as with the Paradym, and I bring up a mile per hour, I'm adding about 4 yards to that carry. So remember, I'm thinking about 273. Yeah, 273. Math. 273, and then a roll out of like 290. That is the honest math here. And going over to dispersion. So the darker blue is the Paradym. I was playing a high fade with the Paradym all day hitting this club, and it was very good. I was stroking. The one thing that I was really impressed with the Stealth is that even though it felt weird, I was able to play my draw, and this one 278, 279, is keeping pace. I thought this was a good battle of manufacturers here. And I thought, for me, I put in the same. The one thing I was very happy with is I put in the same swing, same chefs, same grams, and same degree of loft on the club. So there was no difference in anything that was tested that day. So when we got back, the final thoughts: Callaway versus Taylormade. Who's better? And honest reviews. We'll be back. Final thoughts: the Stealth 2 versus the Callaway Paradym. So as I'm, going through this, and this, I'm not going to go off of data anymore. You saw the data. I'm going to go off of feel. I'm going to go off of what I was able to do with the ball. Here's the good thing: I had a good set of shots with the Stealth 2, and for me, they were coming off. They felt really weird. I'm not going to lie. Taylormade, even with the Stealth 1 from last year, even when you catch it in the face, it doesn't feel like you actually, it comes off hot, but only when you really hit it in the center of the club. I was really surprised on some of my, when I was hitting the Stealth 2, some of them I was carrying 270, I sat there and I'm like, wow, I'm shocked because it didn't feel like it. So for me, I was kind of shocked, but in a good way, because I sat there, I was just like, these don't feel like they're going like 270. I'm hitting all over the damn club. And they're still firing out like 270, 275. The Paradym, I was missing that too, which is even great. I was just able to hit that, 273, 275, 278. 280. For me, being able to see two top manufacturers go at it, and really test them both in the sim on the same day and have the same swing, and I was hitting them both kind of the same, which this is probably the best data that I've ever gotten in comparison to each other. Who is the Stealth 2 and the Paradym geared for? Well, I think first off, let's start with the Paradym. I think I said in my other video, this is geared towards probably a 5 handicap, a little higher, has a little more forgiveness than the Stealth 2. I'm going to give the forgiveness category immediately to the Paradym. I thought from being able to play a high fade to being able to draw it, I felt hitting it on the toe, hitting it on the heel, I felt like the Paradym was just much more forgiving. I felt some of my Stealth shots on a good day with the Stealth 2. I was able to draw the ball. I think, when you hit it in the center of the club, that's where I'm going to give it to the Taylormade Stealth 2. When you hit that center of the club, it comes off so effing hot. It is an improvement from last year. This is what frustrates me about other golf analysis, where they're trying not to go overboard, where it's like a 1 or 2 yard difference, and it comes off like this much hotter than the Stealth 1. And I think I said in my last video, if you have a Stealth 1, keep it, because in reality they're basically the same damn club. I didn't think there was too much of a upgrade from it. Let's go from a distance standpoint. That goes to the Paradym. That Paradym I have never put out. And just imagine, I was putting draws against fade. I was playing the Stealth 2 as a draw against a Paradym again with fade, and I was still putting the fade out 2 yards further. Meaning, if I was putting out my draw normally, I probably would have been about 8 or 9 yards further than the Stealth 2. I know that, You can look on. If you don't believe me, go back to my other videos of cracking the stealth and hitting that draw. I was probably had a few at 293, 288, 287. I was dominating that club. So distance would go to the Paradym. Looks. All day I am taking the Taylormade Stealth 2. Black and red, like I said, my tripod is black and red. I think the color is great. I think both of them suck of making their club shiny. I love the carbon finish. Like the Stealth won last year, that carbon finish was so good. I thought that club was gorgeous. The blue Paradym, just not my forte. I mean, that's a small tweak. I'm not a big color guy, but I'm just saying, you know, if I am taking from a look standpoint, the Stealth, for me, color and vision-wise, just looks more appealing. Overall. Now, you know, we have two categories. They're meeting up. If I had to rate, and this is where I'm just going to keep on giving the drum roll. If I had to rate against the two top manufacturers this year for the Paradym versus the Stealth 2, I would choose the Callaway Paradym. I think the technology is better for distance wise, and to be able to have that type of forgiveness is really good, and it's not too hot off the face. I think the Stealth 2 is suited for a slightly better golfer. I think that's Taylormade's niche. I think if you are a better player, you're going to hit towards that center of the club a little more. You're having a different conversation. But for the average golfer, amateur that really wants to gain distance and really wants to make a substantial difference, it's one of the only clubs this year that has made a gigantic stride in distance, forgivability, and, you know, for me to put up against, I put it up against my Rogue. And like I said, I was putting it 10 past every time on carry, with total probably about 18 to 19 with the rollout. You know, I would say right now the closest club to the Paradym would be actually the TSR 3. That club actually kept up with it, and you can look at that in my other video. The TSR 3 tested out fantastic. But if we're going against Paradym versus Stealth 2, the clear winner here is going to be the Paradym. And, you know, for me, it's just more, for me, it felt weird hitting the Stealth 2. And this isn't just me saying it. If you go around, you know, I'm not going to lie, I just watched, you know, Grant and Micah hit their, you know, their Stealth 2s, and, you know, even Micah was saying, and Grant was saying, it feels weird off the face. It really does. It's a weird feeling off that face. I don't know how else to say it. But do I think the club is bad? No. Do I think it's an upgrade from last year? I do not. Do I think the Paradym is an upgrade from the Rogue? Absolutely it is. That's a club where I'm still considering putting it into my bag and putting the Rogue as a backup at this point, just because it is that much better. So, that's it. I may get a lot of hate and I may get a lot of love, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm going to give you my honest review, regardless of if you are a TaylorMade fan, a Ping fan, a Titleist fan, a Callaway fan. For me, I'm going to give you the honest assessment of me. I sit in that bay a good amount. It's 10 minutes down the road. I hit a lot of golf balls in there. It's fun. Eventually, I'm going to start putting more content of me actually playing, so you can actually see my skill set. I'm probably around a high 70, about 77, 78 guy, 5 handicap. But I'm going to start getting that content out. But if you haven't yet, you won't know about it because you haven't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. It's going to help me in the community. Tell me what you think about Callaway versus Taylormade. Tell me about what you think about the difference of me saying what I just stated, because I'm interested. But for me, that's just my honest assessment. And I'm saying that because I'm not trying to piss anybody off. But at the same time, I'm not going to keep my mouth shut when I've tested it. So besides that, I hope you like the content. And then other than that, just like all of my other videos, I keep it real!